They lit up red carpets and ruled the box office until Hollywood slammed the door. Fame, power, fan bases, all gone in a flash. In a town that forgives almost anything, these stars crossed the line. Some broke rules, others broke silence, but they all paid the price. These are the actors Hollywood blacklisted and the jaw-dropping reasons why. Everyone cheered his comeback, but do you know why Brendan Fraser disappeared in the first place? It wasn't a box office flop. In 2003, Fraser alleged that Philip Burke, then president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, groped him. Brendan spoke out, and the roles dried up. He wasn't invited to the Golden Globes for years. His mental and physical health crumbled. Hollywood didn't say it outright, but the silence was deafening. No big premieres, no big roles. Just stillness. His honesty cost him everything, until The Whale earned him an Oscar and brought him back on his own terms. Brendan Fraser faded out quietly, but Amanda Bynes? Her descent came with flashing cameras and zero filters. She didn't crash, she unraveled in real time. Courtrooms, psychiatric holds, wigs, bizarre tweets, and sidewalk standoffs. At one point, she set a stranger's driveway on fire. But back in the early 2000s, she was unstoppable. The Amanda Show, She's the Man, Hairspray, she was comedy gold with studio deals to match. Then came the pressure, and everything shifted. Roles disappeared. Studios stepped back. No one made a statement. No one needed to. The spotlight moved on, and Bynes was left trying to pick up pieces no one wanted. Then there's the once untouchable, but now radioactive Kevin Spacey. His career didn't just collapse, it vaporized.
File. How much money do you have? None. Do you mind me asking how much you owe?
When multiple sexual assault allegations hit, including from actor Anthony Rapp, Spacey's response made things worse. He deflected by coming out, which infuriated the LGBTQ+ community. Netflix axed House of Cards. Ridley Scott literally replaced him in a movie after filming was done. He became uncastable. In 2022, he was acquitted in a UK trial, but the damage had already been done. His legal wins haven't led to a return. For Hollywood, the court of public opinion still holds more weight. He's no longer the industry's cautionary tale, but he's not back on the call sheet either. As Spacey's power imploded under scandal, another name was already breaking Hollywood's silence from the other side of the story. Rose McGowan spoke out and made sure the world heard her roar.
Actress Rose McGowan has become the fourth person to allege she was raped by the Hollywood mogul.
As one of the first to accuse Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault, Rose lit the fuse on the Me Too movement. But while others got applause, she got iced. Hollywood called her too angry, too loud, and hard to work with. Translation, she wouldn't shut up. Her career, once thriving with Charmed and indie cred, ground to a halt. Studios stopped hiring. Public relations firms ghosted her. She says agents flat out warned her, back down or vanish. Rose chose truth and Hollywood chose silence, and in the end, she was punished for being the first one through the wall. Speaking out has a cost, but sometimes just one word can end everything. It all blew up after the slur on Grey's Anatomy set. Isaiah Washington crossed a line that Hollywood wouldn't forgive. The homophobic insult aimed at co-star T.R. Knight cost him everything. Apologies came too late. Shonda Rhimes cut him loose, and the industry slammed the door shut. But before the fallout, Washington was a star. He carried Grey's through its peak, commanding attention and respect. The fame was real, but the price of a single moment was higher. Years later, he tried to claw back with indie roles and media appearances, but Hollywood had already moved on. Britney Murphy had everything going for her. Clueless made her iconic. Then came 8 Mile, Girl, Interrupted, and a dozen other hits. But by the late 2000s, her star was fading fast. Rumors swirled. Drug use, erratic behavior, a strange marriage to screenwriter Simon Monjack. Studios got spooked. Roles dried up. She was quietly labeled unreliable. In 2009, she died suddenly at 32. Pneumonia was listed as the official cause, though speculation has lingered. Some point to the toxic people around her. Others believe Hollywood turned its back. Whatever the reason, Britney disappeared from the spotlight long before she was gone. If you think Hollywood protects its golden boys, think again. Shia LaBeouf learned the hard way. Arrests, drunken outbursts, and wild art stunts weren't the end of it. The real blow came when ex-girlfriend FKA Twigs sued him for abuse. Studios vanished overnight. Olivia Wilde dropped him from Don't Worry Darling before cameras even rolled. Shia claimed he quit, but the facts told a different story. Before the fall, he was Spielberg's golden boy, the breakout star of Transformers and indie darlings alike. Rehab and apologies followed, but Hollywood had labeled him toxic, and his comeback stalled before it even started. And if Shia was too chaotic, this next actor was considered just too creepy. Armie Hammer had the looks, the roles, the Hollywood pedigree. Then came the leaked messages, graphic ones, allegations of abuse, and cannibalistic fantasies hit the internet like a wrecking ball. Hammer denied everything, but the damage was instant.
Ever eaten any human flesh?
No. Not a question I'd ever thought I'd have to answer, by the way, but no, never. You know what you have to do to be a cannibal? You have to have actually eaten someone.
He was dropped by his agency, pulled from projects, and became a late-night punchline. Death on the Nile buried him in the credits. Studios didn't even want his name on posters. Armie never saw a courtroom, but the internet made sure he never got another role. And while he's tried to explain it all away, his career remains iced out. In 2023, he resurfaced from the Cayman Islands, calling the fallout unfair, but the work never returned. But not every blacklist was recent. Some go way back to Hollywood's golden age. Ever heard of Dorothy Cumming? In the 1920s, she was silent film royalty, playing the Virgin Mary in The King of Kings. But then came the studio morality clauses. When her ex-husband dragged her through a public custody battle, claiming she was immoral and unstable, Hollywood took the bait. She wasn't convicted of anything. But in that era, scandal was worse than crime. The roles vanished. She went from movie star to persona non grata almost overnight. Her name was erased from marquees. She faded from the industry without a chance to return. No ousting shook Hollywood like Charlie Sheen's. Public meltdowns, wild tiger blood rants, rehab relapses, and that viral winning phase turned him into a walking meme. The final blow came when he trashed showrunner Chuck Lorre in a relentless media blitz. CBS fired him fast. Hollywood didn't just step back, they ran.
Humiliating, it was embarrassing, it was all kinds of stuff, and I couldn't watch 2.5 Men reruns for years because...
Even after revealing his HIV diagnosis, Sheen says the industry punished him more than supported him. Once the highest paid sitcom star on 2.5 Men, he quickly found himself blacklisted. Offers stopped coming. His reign ended in scandal and silence. Even Uncle Charlie isn't untouchable in Tinseltown. Let's now move to the next high-profile downfall. John Garfield was a bona fide star, known for gritty, working-class characters and serious acting chops. But when McCarthyism hit Hollywood like a sledgehammer, Garfield refused to name names. That was it. Done. Studios blacklisted him for alleged communist ties. Never charged, never proven. But guilt by association was enough. He was dropped from roles, publicly smeared, and boxed out of the industry he helped build. At just 39, he died of a heart attack, which some say was from the stress of being hunted by his own government. Garfield's legacy has been revisited in recent years, with many now recognizing his refusal to cooperate as an act of quiet resistance rather than professional self-destruction. And then there's a case where the blacklist wasn't official, but it was deadly. You probably remember him as the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But in 2002, Jeffrey Jones was arrested for possession of child pornography and accused of soliciting a minor. He pled no contest and registered as a sex offender. Hollywood recoiled instantly. Roles vanished. Even cult favorites didn't want his name attached. He wasn't formally blacklisted, but try finding him in a mainstream movie after that. His presence became a liability no one could afford. He went from comedic icon to Hollywood ghost. The message was clear. Jones lost every door that once welcomed him in. Hollywood doesn't always forgive or forget. Out of all these shocking downfalls, which celebrity's cancellation caught you completely off guard?